everybody. Linda Carroll here from my studio, and I was looking at some of my old videos this morning, and I came upon my absurd crow video, and I watched the entire thing and then went on to part 2 in the second video and realized how much I was missing doing my maximalist style of collage and doing this absurd kind of deconstruct, reconstruct beings, and this one being a crow whose body was created using a sewing machine. And then all of these little tiny pieces in here that fit together to tell the story of this particular collage. And so I went back through my collages and I found the crow. And then I also found this one. I forgot I had made this one with the 2 swans. I actually made it for an anniversary card for my husband. And I was looking at this and yearning. I felt myself yearning to create like this again. And so that's what we're going to do today. And I'll show you how we're going to start in just a minute. But you might want to get a nice cool drink or a nice hot cup of tea. It's a rainy day here today, so I'm thinking tea might be a good thing. And sit down, because this video, well, these 2 turned out to be fairly long videos. I had to break them into 2 videos. Okay, as you can see, I'm working a little bit larger than my usual 8.5 by 11. I've moved up to an 11 by 14, and I'm using the Strathmore mixed media paper that I really like. You can use any kind of media on it, and if your finished artwork, it's acid free, and I love the texture of this paper as well. So I have created this character in Photoshop. I deconstructed this little bird, cut its head off, let's say, and then I took this image from a Renaissance painting. I love the expression on her face, and I combined the 2 to make this little creature who looks as though she lives in the woodlands. And I thought I would love to create a collage around her. She looks like a little woods spirit. This will be available on my website page, www.collagemagic.com. And if you join the website, it's free to join. You will have access to a collage resource library. And in there, I think there are almost, 15 or 20 pages that you can download. I usually add at least 1 page a month. So this month will be this creature in a lot of different sizes for you to work with. And all of these images are public domain. So, and I had a lot of fun kind of creating her in Photoshop. And then on my desk, I found this piece of paper lying around that I obviously had cut out of a magazine. And there's stuff on the back of it. And I thought, okay, how can I make this image even more my own? So since the texture in this piece looks like feathers, I thought, well, I could add another wing on this side And I could add a piece here, and I haven't quite decided exactly where I'm going to add it, but I want it to be on the top, maybe right there, of the wing in the front. And then I had one more piece left over, and I think this I'm going to put up here in her headdress at some place, or her hair. I'm not sure what that is yet. And that has even made it more my own. Okay, so that's how I'm going to start. And so far, I love the colors, and I just love the layout on this page. Now, when I did this background, and you can hardly see that these were actually poppy flowers, and now they just look like some kind of an abstract area in the background. And then I also spritzed with my distress inks. I used tea dye, and maybe that's all I used in the background here. So I really like this, and I'm going to have to see, look how that orange would work with this particular image. And I really love those colors together. So I'm going to see if I can find a napkin like this in my napkin stash, and I'll be back in just a second, and we'll work on the background some. The first thing I'm going to do is glue together my collage pieces that I can glue together. And I'm just going to use a glue stick to glue this together. And I don't know if you can see, but I did kind of cut into these edges so that they're not really even. Maybe if I lay it down here, you can see it better. So it will blend better onto the bird body. I have my tea dye. Now this is distress stain, so I really can't play with it that much, but I just want to spritz my background. And let's see what happens if we spritz it with a little bit of water. I don't think it's gonna do much, but might spread a little bit. Pick up the extra water. I think this is a green that I made. Yeah. I really like those two colors together. The next thing I'm going to do is do my border. So let's look for some pieces to include in the border, and possibly in the collage itself, since I have a lot of little bins and things that I save. Let's take a look and see what else I want to include. And I'm looking at colors. I'm looking at images themselves. Basically, just intuitively looking through this and other bins to see if there's anything that I might want to include in this collage. I think if you work diligently and with intention in your collage work, you will start seeing colors and images and things that are meaningful to you showing up a lot. Symbols, things that you have saved in your stash, and everybody's will be unique. Bits of paper, tags off of dry cleaning, time cards, belly paper. If you name it, I probably have it somewhere. Crossword puzzles that my husband likes to do, and he just throws them out, but I salvage them. Okay, let's see what we have with all of this goodness that I found. I really love these colors with this, and it is a painting by Barbara Lofthouse, so I don't want to use the whole painting in my artwork, but let's cut it up. And turn it upside down. Okay, and let's see what else I have here. I'm not sure why, but I really like this. I do think it belongs in here. This is a piece of scrapbook paper. It really picks up the colors in her face. And you're noticing that if I have a piece in one place of the collage, I'll put another piece down. This repetition helps to hold this together. And I like to put pieces in the corners to kind of anchor the corners. It's a technique that another collage artist uses as well. I'll put his name up when I edit this. Tony is his first name. All right, we're getting there. Let's look at these pages. Stop belly bloated with gas. Well, it's not anything I really want to talk about, but nervous. I don't like that. It's you know, it's very interesting what attracts you when you're doing this kind of border. What pieces really attract you? You know, if I was being really truthful, I'd cut out arthritis and stop belly bloated with gas and all those things. But I don't know who would want to really look at that in a collage. And Firm's flabby tissue too. That would be another one. But anyway, it's fun to look through this stuff because you never know what you're going to find. You know. Oh my. A new fishing sensation calls fish right to your bait. Yes, indeed. Folks, 50 to 75. Well, I still fit in there. Illustrated sex facts. I need that. Sorry. This has to be in here. I know, but we are in a progressive century, right? I'll turn it sideways. So, how about that? Not sure about that. Definitely like this.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And
all right. I like these. So we can start gluing this down.
Really wanna know.
And, you know, by cutting these pieces and laying them on their sides in the border actually abstracts them so that you're not really interested in exactly what is in the picture itself. You're interested more in the color and the texture of the papers.
Let's figure out where the road goes.
Now I put this tape around here to, when I take it off, if I decide to take it off, will be a white border for framing around this. But it also gives me something to line up my papers too.
Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs.
And here you start building up your layers, even in the border.
You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing.
Okay, I have my border on here now, and I have my focal point. Let's take a look at this one. You can see I have my corners. I like that. And I have my border. I like that, but I think I need some more layering on here. And to do that, I take, now this is a vintage ticket for Skylark Theater in Corinth, Mississippi. But I take these smaller strips of paper and I overlap 2 of the border papers with it, and that just helps pull together the border for some reason, for me. And my collages don't feel finished unless I do that. So there's a ticket. Here's a special delivery. I could use 2. And that I'm going to turn upside down, because if you turn it upside down, it helps to attract the attention that it would have if it was sitting right side up. This way it just turns into a texture and a color. Let's see what else we have. We can use, these are some great colors. And I'm not thinking too much about these. I'm just kind of putting them down intuitively. And I'm doing it pretty quickly too. So, and I might add some more later. I'm not sure. All right. The next part I need to do is to go in and work on the background some more. And I remember you have to pull the plies off of the napkins so that you only have one very thin napkin, piece of your napkin. And I'm not sure how this is going to work. But I love these colors, so let's see what happens. I love using napkins because when you put them over top of pieces, either in the border or anywhere actually on your collage, the underneath shows through, and I just love that look of the translucent pieces coming through the other pieces. So let's see what we can come up with here. So cutting this out reminds me of clouds. So I might want to play on that little insight of inspiration there. Let's see what happens. Okay, I like that a lot. Now we have this figure up here, and we have these clouds in the sky, and I think down below her we need to have houses or something. I'm going to use the Distress Collage medium to glue these down. We can see what I can find to use for the houses. Go ahead and let that dry. And I'm going to clean up my space a little bit. And I'm going to look for something that would be believable as a cityscape or a landscape down here at the bottom. Well, apparently I forgot to turn the camera on for this last section when I did find a cityscape in some, it's actually wrapping paper that my girlfriend gave me last Christmas. So I added that at the bottom, and I think that really has grounded the collage. And then I glued down my LadyBird, and I really like this section of the collage. I guess it's because of the way her face is overlapping the pumpkin clouds. I don't know, there's just something that's so rich about that. And so what I'm going to do is sit with this overnight, and I will then decide if I'm going to carry on further, what I'm going to do to embellish this piece, how I'm going to finish the clouds. Okay, I sat with this for a while and let it rest overnight, and then I came back and I started playing with this Lyra color pencil. It's a chunky color pencil with really good coloration. And at first I thought, well, I want to make these pumpkins look more like clouds. And then I was thinking about my intention with this piece, and it was to create a surreal collage, which means beyond real. And I thought, well, what if the clouds were made out of pumpkins? So I'm going back in and working with my color pencil and sketching in some vines to kind of take care of this negative space that I have on this piece. And I did go in and add this kind of totem at the bottom. I didn't like the branch sticking out here in the middle of nowhere, so I decided my ladybird needed to be standing on something. And this particular image had all of the colors in it that I wanted, and then I have this snail shell down here at the bottom. So after I kind of sketched in where I wanted my vines to appear, I went in with a paint marker and really exaggerated. Now, these are called Moxics. I've had these for a while and I haven't used them, but it says it works on glass, ceramic, porcelain, wood, metal, canvas, plastic, and stone. So I'm pretty sure that this is going to work really well on my background once I get this flowing again. And I just went in with this orange and started kind of tracing over my pumpkin stems. And you know how the little kind of curlicues come off of the pumpkin stems and wrap themselves around. Now, they're usually green. All right, I do think I'm going to go in with a green. Go in with some color pencil and add some shading around my ladybird. Now this is Inktense color pencil, which will be activated with water. So let's see what happens here. I want her to stand out a little bit. So I'm just going in with water and activating this a little bit and softening the lines that I put around my ladybird. And I think I want to do that around my border here. Let's see just will give this a little bit more depth. And I like that, so I'm going to go around this building at the bottom. The cityscape. And I know when I started this, I thought this ladybird was a little forest bird and would be frolicking out in the woods somewhere, but instead I think she's bringing a special delivery to the city and letting them know that maybe the seasons have actually changed, and as the birds come back. This mixed media paper. The surface is so great and takes so many different media. I'm going to add coffee red. I think I want to add just a little bit more color in her cheeks. And to her lip here. And maybe this baby's lips. And maybe this young girl's lips right here. Okay, and I can feel it starting to become more cohesive as I'm working. I'm really pleased with this. And I love the way all of the colors came together. I love the dreaminess. You know, if you're working with like Renaissance period portraits, a lot of them have that really dreamy kind of look to them anyway. And then when you work with the napkins and you have this translucent appearance up here in the pumpkin clouds, that's also, you know, gives it a very dreamy look to it. And that's kind of the style that I seem to be working towards right now. And I really like the softness, but yet I still have the bright colors that I love. The palette that I'm working on or working with in this particular painting or collage, you know, is there are not an abundance of different colors in this particular piece, and that also helps the piece stay cohesive as well. And now I'm just going in and adding some marks to these buildings brightening up some of the colors and again making this more my own. I like that darker blue. Okay. So I'm feeling like this is finished. Now I want to see what happens when I take the washi tape off of the outside edge and see. I have a feeling it's going to brighten this up even more. I think I need a little bit more color down here and my child's picture in her cheeks. There we go. And I do believe my ladybird is finished. What do you think? I have my ladybird, which was my deconstructing and reconstructing a figure from different creatures, and I made it more my own by adding some of these magazine pieces. And then my border is a combination of vintage papers, magazine cutouts, book cutouts, and some of the collage papers that I've made in the past and are on my Etsy shop. And then the background was spritzes with tea dye distress ink, and also I used a green distress ink that I mixed myself using water and the distress stain re-inkers. So I have the green and the tea dye. I have the napkins that I created the pumpkin clouds with, and I just love the dreaminess of the entire piece. And I think that you're going to see more of this. I also really like working in this size, so I'm going to move from the size of my art journal. Then I went up to 8.5 by 11, and now I'm going up to 11 by 14 mixed media paper. And I really love this size and what I'm able to do in a page this size. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know I really did. It's gotten me back to my table, back into my collaging. I'm moving in a specific direction with intention, and the intention is to make my collages more dreamy looking, more surreal, leaning more towards the surreal than the Dada influence that I've worked with for so long. But there's still little evidences of that left over in this particular piece. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. I hope you're having a great day or evening, whichever the case may be. Thank you for joining me. It means a lot. And I will be seeing you again, hopefully soon. I wish you many blessings. Bye for now.